Hello, everybody. My name is Jake. I hope you all are doing very well. I appreciate you coming by to listen to what I have to say. Today is the 4th of July, 2026. I hope everybody's celebrating. Hope everyone is having a good day. Maybe taking it easy if that's what you want to do. I kind of just wanted to come on here and talk about some things. Maybe give you some relaxation while you listen. I plan on following this video up at some point with other ideas. I was thinking of maybe talking about like all the films I've seen in theaters this year, and like ranking them if that's something you guys might want to see. And also I was thinking of maybe making some fitness videos, soft spoken, maybe whispered. Let me know what you guys want to see. But yeah, no. The main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is fake people. Now, that's nothing new. Everyone's been around fake people. We all have known fake people or know fake people. And nobody wants to be around fake people, obviously. But what I want to talk about specifically is LARPing. I'm sure everyone has heard the term LARPing. Now I'm sure you know what LARP means. Live action role play. A lot of people use the term to describe someone who pretends to be interested in a show or movie. So like Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a lot of TikTokers that LARP that show, like haven't actually watched it and talk about it like they've seen it. But you don't just LARP shows. There's a lot of like daily LARPers, and I might be using the term wrong. You can call me out if I am. But I call daily, like the average fake people that I see in my life, I just call them LARPers. Because they literally are live action role playing. You know what I'm saying? How to know if someone is like faking or like LARPing? Usually it's obvious. You can kind of just spot it. But for example, I had a buddy a while back. He's no longer really my friend or any of my friends' friends. And you'll see why, but me and him became friends around sophomore year of high school. And, everything was cool. He eventually joined my friend group and everything was great. And then over the years, I started to realize, what type of person this guy was. He wasn't like my other friends. He would butt into the conversation or butt into me talking to someone else and just talk about something that he did or talk about a scenario that he was involved in. And 9 out of 10 of these scenarios are just such bullshit, bro. Like, and you don't really have to do much thinking to even know, especially because, and then like you try to push back on the question, he comes in, he's like, I did this one time and I did this, and you're like, oh, well, how did that go? And his response to that is like stumbling or trying to think, because he didn't expect you to ask or look any deeper. No, he'll just do that with random little things. Like, it could be literally anything, you know what I mean? Just anything to make himself look cooler than he is. And he was already a cool dude. That's the thing, is there's no reason to do that. I liked the dude. I thought he was cool, but when I started seeing that he was doing this and acting like this and just making up things, it made me want to, it made me like him less. Or made me start to think he was weird and untrustworthy. Eventually, this guy kind of did me dirty because me and him were originally friends, and then he became friends with all of our friends, and then all of my friends, and then he ended up just kind of treating me badly, I guess, like just having some type of grudge against me. And I could just tell, like, I can just read these things. I know it's obvious. One of the reasons that it was super obvious was because back like senior year, he was planning this trip. He's like, yo, I got my grandma's lake house, we're going to Missouri, and it's gonna be a great time. He'd always tell me about how awesome it was, jet skis, all, so much fun. And then come time to actually go on the trip, they're all talking about it, how fun it's gonna be, and I'm like, yeah, no, that I can't wait to go. That's so exciting. And then they're all like, yo, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I didn't know you were going, but I mean, hey, if we'll see if we can fit you a spot in there. And I'm just like, you, like, what? And bro ended up inviting he ended up telling me that there weren't any spots on the trip, but he invited like 3 other friends and their girlfriends, and it was but regardless, it's not that I didn't go on the trip that I was mad. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's the fact that he was sitting here telling me like, hey, this is gonna be so fun, this is gonna be awesome, this is gonna be a good time. And then he invites every single person that we know except for me. You know what I mean? It's almost just like, what's your problem with me? You know what I'm saying? But that's not really how he LARPs. I'm kind of getting off track there. His LARPing more comes from, like, I've had my other buddy, just when he first met this guy years ago, and he knew that this guy was a liar instantly, because the guy was sitting there just telling a story about this just absolute fallacy, bro. Like, it made no sense. Like, you don't really have to do much thinking to know that he's lying. You can kind of just see how he says things, or just the story in general. Like, the story in general is just like, no, you didn't do that, bro. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I say to stay away from these types of people are because recently, that same friend that I was telling, because for a long time I was telling my other friends, like, I don't really fuck with him. I don't know what his problem is with me. I don't know why he has such an issue with me. I mean, I've never done anything to the guy. We've always been good friends, and so I always felt like he had some type of grudge against me. But I would always tell them, like, he's kind of weird. He'd be lying. He'd be making shit up, and it's just weird. And they would always just be like, yeah, no, that is weird. But that's all it ever went to. It never really went anywhere else. And then recently, old dude got caught sleeping with one of the other dude's girls, bro. Like this was literally like 2-3 days ago. And what's funny is me and my other friend were talking about it. We were talking about him. We were talking about the LARPer, the main LARPer. And we were like, just talking about how he be LARPing, and how he just a bunch of stuff about how he just be disrespectful to people, and we know his intentions are bad. And then that same day, I get a call when I'm sleeping from him telling me that all of the drama that he, like, the other guy went to his house and found him sleeping with his girl in the same bed, and that's my boy, like, the one that got cheated on. Like, I don't really talk to the LARPer much. After high school, we don't really talk much, but he was mostly hangs out with them, and I'm still friends with them. I just don't see them like a lot, but when I do, he would be there, and usually, but obviously no more. But it's just like, and actually, I had another buddy that I know, and he would LARP shows and stuff, and pretend to know what he's talking about with like movies and shows. And like, for example, I would be talking to him about JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. He would post like all over his Instagram, like repost like fights from season 3, clips from season 3 and stuff. But he over here told me the other day that like he hasn't even seen season 2 or 3. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, why are you pretending to like something that you haven't even seen? Or pretending like that, I don't know. You see my point though. What I'm really trying to say is these fake people, they'll put on this front for you. They'll put on these stories. They'll put on this act, try to seem a certain way, act a certain way. And if you don't see it, or if you don't like notice it ahead of time, then as soon as that person gets the opportunity, they're gonna take the jump on you, bro. They're, like, whatever they're using you for, or whatever they like hang out with you for, or whatever they're trying to get out of you, once they get it, bro, then you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I try to stay away from people like that like, because it's like, and if you're the type of person that does this, that like makes up stories, or says things to other people to try to make yourself seem cooler, just all I have to say is just don't do that. Like, you don't need to do that, because like nobody wants to be around someone like that. Nobody, and half the time you can tell that you're lying. And then at the same time, if you have to pretend to be cool and say all these things that are fake and untrue about you just for this person to be your friend, then what's even the point? Like, you know what I mean? Why would you even want to be friends with this person? But not just that, but also, if you meet somebody and you tell them all these cool things about you that aren't true, and you lead them to think a certain way, once they find those things out about you aren't true, then what? You know what I mean? It's like, there's no benefit to not just being yourself and being truthful. And it like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, and that's really all I have to say is, don't fake being you. Like, tell stories that happen to you. Don't over exaggerate it to seem cooler than you are. Because that's not you, bro. Don't be someone that you're not. And if you have someone in your life that does this, I would recommend just not talking to them, or not hanging out with them as much, or maybe even call them out on it. Maybe if you hear a story that you're like, you can just tell is bullshit, then maybe be like, hey, just question them on it and see how they act. Or just, I don't know, just take a step back from that person, because like I said, it usually doesn't end very well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. If you did watch and you did enjoy, let me know. Let me know some other things that I can do to improve the ASMR quality, because this is my first video. So mic settings, anything, any ideas you have, just comment them down below. But yeah, that's all for now. So hopefully I will see you guys soon. Bye.